Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997 back with my G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra Walmart exclusive heetseek missile system. Now this is the next battle station that is exclusive to Walmart. This comes with scrap iron and the Neo Viper. Scrap iron looks like a straight up repaint. The Neo Viper is just another Neo Viper. It looks like he has both his guns on his backpack as well as his pistol in his hand. And there's some pistol and scrap iron hand as well as a gun laying on the ground. Looks like all three missiles can be pulled off and they have the little control panel. Actually, they have the Neo Viper clinging to one of the plastic straps that have those things spider webbed in. I thought that was kind of funny. It says includes Arashikage tattoos and stickers. Over here you have the side art for the box. Once again, I love these boxes, and they expand to a little diorama. Over here, the rest of the battle stations. And down here, the file cards. I reviewed a scrap iron with the Cobra ATV, and I've reviewed a Neo Viper before, so if you really want to hear their file cards, you can go back and look at those. Over here, your temporary tattoo directions, how to turn it into a base. So, and of course the back of the box, once again, a very classic looking back of the box, if you get what I'm saying. Of course, it says, powerful and portable, the heetseek missile system is a force to be reckoned with. These heat-seeking smart weapons use sophisticated onboard computers to elude both aircraft and ground-based countermeasures, making them a formidable threat to the G.I. Joe team. It says launcher elevates and swivels, missile system changes from stationary mode to mobile mode, so I'm guessing that means the wheels can drop down. Stowaway programmable controls, retractable stabilizer legs. This is 4 of 4 of the battle stations. So, let's open this bad boy up. Okay, so opening this bad boy up, of course, you gotta pull the tabs out through here. Here you have your bases and sticker sheet instructions and so on. Of course, pulling this out. And here you have your missile system and your boxes over here, which I'm tossing to the side. So, let me pull off these plastic straps. Okay, and first up we're going to be taking a look at the Neo Viper and scrap iron. Let's get the light a little more in here. Now, the Neo Viper is exactly the same Neo Viper, accessories and all, that we've got originally. You can take his guns, pin them on his back. He comes with his 2 rifles and his handgun. This little Mars Industries pistol. So, overall, he's the same figure, but the thing about the Neo Viper is I've actually grown to love him as an army builder. I kind of love the design of these guys now. So, having another one of these is not a terrible thing to me. I really do like this guy. He has the standard articulation. If you want to see a review of this guy more specifically, go back to my older Neo Viper review. Now on to scrap iron. Scrap iron comes with the same oversized rifle and the same oversized handgun that came in the surveillance port with the Televiper and the Mars Trooper. Now he can hold the rifle somewhat, and you can also kind of cram this pistol into this hand, but other than that, this hand is not holding those accessories. Other than that, this looks like the exact same scrap iron that came with the Cobra ATV. His legs are a bit stiff and moving, but once you've got them moving around, they're fine. Arms have the standard range of movement with no major hindrances. So, scrap iron is also a solid figure. So, let's move on to the heetseek missile system. Okay, and here we have the heetseek missile system out. Of course, all 3 missiles are on it. The sticker application kind of went a little haywire. I misplaced some of them, so you have to live with that. Over here you have the control panel. It does have like a little trailer hitch, although I don't know what you would hitch it to. I don't know if originally, because I'm pretty sure this is a reissue of an original missile launcher. I don't know what you would hook this to in the current Rise of Cobra line. So, of course it rotates and the missiles quote-unquote elevate, but the real pain about that is the instant you touch these missiles, they're going to start falling off. Of course, all the missiles are pretty much the same. They're just light plastic, although they do look kind of cool. So here you have your elevation station. Of course, these fold up like so. Said this had easy storage. I don't see where. Of course, this pops off, so I don't know if it was supposed to fit over something or what. No, it didn't say on the instructions either where this thing was supposed to go. Oh well. But you can see the detail on that. And then you have the free rolling wheels in case you had a something to hook this to, which once again in the Rise of Cobra line looks like we don't. So popping the wheels back down. It's interesting, but this seems like a lot. They really just needed to put a little something more into having the missiles connect, snap on, maybe even launch off. But they didn't. They just gave us the same old, same old. So let me pop this back in here. Getting scrap iron and the Neo Viper back in here. Oh, and also the background. Once again, it's kind of flimsy if you don't have it backed up against something. It's kind of a tree line. Probably not back up against the wall. I don't think anybody's too crazy to see that. And trying to get the rest of these missiles on for the end of the review. And boom. So, overall, this thing costs 15 bucks. Now, the Rise of Cobra figures have been lowered to 5 bucks a pop, but even still, that's an awesome deal. Now, I do think this is kind of a weak set. All other 3 sets do have a bit bigger of a battle station, quote unquote. This is probably the smallest one. It's just not that fantastic when everything's said and done, but it's still a great deal. If you're wanting an army builder, if you want an awesome looking thing in the background, I'd go a solid 7.5, maybe an 8 on these guys. Probably the weakest one out of the line so far, but still a great looking set, still a steal, and I do recommend it. And this is JTrain997 saying I'll see you soon, YouTube.